Hi Angels, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about
あいつの名前。
私、覚えてない。
ずっと何かを探している。
our experience with a movie. We have finally watched Your Name. After reacting to it, everybody pretty much
the trailer,
yeah, everybody was like it was the best movie and everything else, so it was very intriguing. The trailer looked very interesting. We finally got to it, even though it's way past the time all of you guys watched, and since the movie even came out and everything. But hey, we say we'll get to it. So we finally got to it. Yes.
Yay.
So let's see. The first I really liked about the movie, first of all, the animation was very wonderful.
The graphics were gorgeous. Like everything about it was just. I mean, there was something eye-catching. Even the scenes, like especially at the beginning of the movie when they were waking up in their rooms and stuff like that. Even though it was so mundane, was very like beautifully animated for some reason. Like I just thought the animation in this movie was gorgeous.
And it's definitely something kind of that's the first part would lure you into it. Keeps you focused on things. Because of how it's done. So director did a great job. Director, or is it a drawer, the artist?
I'm not sure. The
I don't
animators.
know the animators, something like that. Then let's see this. Like first of all, from the trailer, we vaguely kind of like knew the story.
Like there was a body switch and everything. But I feel like one of the things about it that surprised me about when I was watching the movie, and of course like everybody commented saying that this was not a love story. But I felt like when I watched the trailer, I was like, these people cannot be right because this feels like a love story.
Well,
and then I watched the movie.
Should be.
Yeah, and then I watched the movie and it was not a love story. So you were right. I'm so sorry for doubting you.
Yeah, I know that's kind of like even like the beginning and close to the middle and everything was happening. You kind of expected it to be still like that love thing to come
and
in,
And it just like it kind of got there.
I mean,
目が覚めても忘れないようにさ。名前書いとこうぜ。
There was a little bit of romance, but the story was not about the romance, and I really liked that. That it wasn't. A typical.
I think the storyline was like really. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it wasn't heavy, but it was so solid and it was so deep. It was very interesting, and I really like watching all these animes that come out with these interesting concepts that you never even kind of like thought about. Maybe that's why they get paid the big bucks because they come up with all this stuff. Let's see what else. One of the parts of of course stood out right away when the boy wakes up in her body and
oh my gosh, and he touches her boobs and he's like
and then his sister walks in while he's still continuing to like, and
that was hilarious.
And every time she comes in, he's touching the boobs.
That was hilarious. I do think that the beginning, and that was something else about the beginning of the movie. It was like I kind of knew what was going to happen, so it wasn't as confusing. But I feel like if you didn't watch the trailer and you didn't like know anything about this movie going in, that you would be kind of really confused at the beginning.
It took a little bit.
Like kind of like that one movie, Memento or whatever, where it was like completely backwards. Like if you watch that movie backwards, it makes sense, but going forwards, it doesn't.
That sounds like my.
It was a good movie, but it was hard to understand, and I felt like I kind of had that deja vu feeling of watching that movie whenever I started this one, just because like I was like, what's going on? Like, what is happening? I'm not getting it right now. And then after about 20 minutes, it all fell in place, and it was like, okay, this is the storyline. They don't really have any memories of what's happened when they do switch the bodies, and and which that made me really sad about the movie. Is
Yeah.
like, I wish that they would have had.
Or they would. What
more
happens is like
memories.
they kind of like remember it for
And then
split
it-
seconds,
and then it just kind of
goes
fades away. Yeah.
like it fades away very fast.
Like a dream. Yeah, like when because you know, you've had those moments whenever you're sleeping and you first wake up and you're like, that was an awesome dream, I'm gonna remember this the rest of my life, and then like 30 minutes later you're like, what?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
pretty much, but it's like this is being kind of like in a real life, which
yeah.
is more, you know, almost like depressing.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Yeah.
very sad, and then there was just so many sad moments going on
Yeah.
out there, and the whole 3-year different things.
Yes,
you know,
that was
very
hard.
That was definitely didn't see that coming.
Yeah, did not see that coming.
I am so glad
The
we
meteor
We
comments.
didn't really like read all the comments because we were afraid to read this, like an
the
extra
spoilers?
spoiler
Yeah.
from like, I mean, we saw what we saw and we already kind of have somewhat of a concept going on, knowing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of like with my eye a little bit glancing at the
Yeah.
comments, you know,
Oh, yeah.
not all the way, because you know we didn't want to spoil it for ourselves all the way. So this part, the whole 3 years, one was in the past and in the future type of thing, that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And how the whole
It was
thanks
surprising.
to that,
Yeah,
you know,
it was
the
really
town
surprising.
was saved and things
Yeah.
like that. So it was very different.
Yeah.
It still was saddening, especially like I think
Yeah.
one of my sad parts were when they were finally kind of met on that mountain.
Oh yes.
I know,
And,
you
but then
know.
it was like they couldn't
Like they didn't even have enough time.
Yeah, no
you know?
time, no time. And then where she just
She's like,
she's
let's-
trying.
Let's
to
write
write
the names,
names.
like so we don't forget each other. So
Yeah.
he went first, written down his
His
name.
name, which was
Yeah.
not his name.
You know,
But it was
wasn't-
still really sweet
It
at
was
the same
so
time.
sweet, you
Yeah.
know. And then, like, as soon as she started writing it, she's like, boom.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah, and I was like, no, like I was like instantly distressed.
I
over
know
that.
that was one of like I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then like instantly he was like already like starting to forget everything.
Yeah,
You know.
and it was just, oh gosh, I was horrible.
You know, and then the time whenever she looked at her hand
Yeah,
and like
they
read what
realized
it said.
instead of his name.
Oh my god, that was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was, and I really liked the ending where they meet, you know, at the train
Yeah.
and everything, and I thought
thought-
that was
I thought it was also interesting where both of them had the feeling of that they were missing something or
but
someone.
yeah, but they couldn't remember what it was. Yeah,
Like they didn't know why that feeling was there.
Yeah.
Or like he said, I think like, I don't know if I'm missing someone or I'm like missing like going to get need a job or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. You know, so it was very interesting and
and how distressing that feeling must be to live life like that,
Oh,
you know, to feel like you have a normal life and you have things under control, but then always have like that
This feeling.
little bit of something that, you know, there's something missing, something wrong here.
Okay,
And
see,
I
like
can
that,
figure out what it is
I
to
don't even
fix.
know how to feel
Yeah.
when it comes to that. I absolutely hate the time when I'm like, you know what, it feels like I'm forgetting
And
something.
something.
And
Yeah.
I'm forgetting something, like, you know, forgetting to pay some
Something.
bill
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
forgetting to pick something up, you know, that's
Yeah.
that. But then this kind of feeling that you were like forgetting someone,
Every day of your life,
you know,
yeah, like
that's
no, couldn't handle it.
like, I have no idea.
You know what I thought was an interesting twist too was that the body switching was an effect from the sake, the where the grandmother talked about that.
Oh yeah, where the grandma also kind of like,
Like,
knew that it was,
what it was
like,
going
whatever,
on.
yeah.
Like
She's like,
yeah.
you're not her.
Yeah.
おはよう、みつは。おやあんた、みつはやないな。おばあちゃん。
You know, but I'm sure like I also remember seeing that there's like more to it. I remember after this movie's been out and everybody was talking about it, there was like a forum going on online. People were explaining more about the anime. So
Really?
it feels like there's like more even deeper to it than
Yeah.
what we,
I need to
You
get
know,
on there and read it then
because like I'm curious what else is there, because you know, being like a kind of like seeing things in one view, you know, you see only so much.
Yeah.
And you know, there's of course there's more of a hidden of a message, you know.
yeah.
But this was very enjoyable, and I mean, like you said, like, you know, this is not really a romance anime
Yeah.
as much as we all want, you know.
Yeah,
the
and that was
romance.
the thing. Is like I think that's the reason why I kept looking for the romance is because I just wanted it to be a romance.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of expect it,
Yeah.
you know. But I think, like, I think with the way the concept was and what was the most important about this anime and everything, I think they did a really good job on the ending.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, I feel like if they had emphasized more romance in this movie, that it would have ruined the movie.
Yeah, like, because this is more. It feels like it's concentrating on more serious.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed how they kind of like saw each other passing in the the train, subway, whatever it is. Like they kind of like saw it. And then they got off the next stop or whatever, and they started looking for each other. And then like next thing you know, like kind of crossing paths and
Then I just
crying,
it was like that click,
it was wonderful. I mean, I wish they had like maybe like an OST or something for it. OST.
An OVA.
I wish they would have like an OVA for it.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's not really necessary or anything, but it would be beautiful
to like see their lives after.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think the ending was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and because it leaves you to imagine your own ending.
Exactly, that's true. I mean, that's what we got, the imagination. And everybody who loves anime, we got that imagination going because that's just how we do it, So we're definitely looking forward to checking out Silent Voice. The trailer to that one also looks... I don't remember. Did they say it was a romance or it wasn't romance? Because it kind of looked like a 50-50 to me.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was
I'm gonna have to.
I don't remember if it was a romance.
Go back
or
and
not.
look at them.
Yeah, but I'm definitely. I think it would be a good one.
Yeah.
I think also I do enjoy like animes or movies or whatever, like the one that have like a lot of tears going on.
I know.
I think that's just like there's just so much. Like think about it, a director and like all the other people were able to create something so deep and meaningful and everything that like it just touches
moves you to tears.
Yes. It's like you become a part of it. You know? And it's so beautiful and we love it so much and we definitely cannot wait to check out Silent Voice. So here was our little review thing. Please fill in the gaps because we're definitely curious for more knowledge. Maybe you guys read, maybe you understood things differently than we did. Very curious to know. So leave it in the comments below. And other than that, double subscribe to our channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you guys know every time something new comes out. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.